So now I'll be doing a review on PlayerUnknown's Battleground, which I'll be calling PUBG in this video. So PUBG, it's a cheap game. It's been released on the PC as well as the Xbox One, and well, you might not want to play on the Xbox One because it does have performance issues, and you kind of do need a high-end PC if you want to play on a PC because the game kind of isn't, it's not optimized that well. But PUBG, it's a weird game that's grown like crazy in the past year. I used to keep seeing these cheesy videos of these competitors, these team gamers, like not MLG, but you know what I'm trying to say. These competitive gamers playing PUBG at these events, and I'm like, oh my goodness, these reactions, these people, they all look so fake. Like they're like laughing and screaming at each other, like playing the game. And I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this is just some stupid multiplayer survival game. This looks like shit. But then I got it for cheap on my PC. I got it for cheap recently, and I played through it, and you know, it's actually a fun game. But you have to kind of remove a few things first, but it is, at the core, a very fun game, but you can't look much outside of that. This game does have loot boxes, microtransactions, but they're purely cosmetic. Now, again, I don't agree with that either, but, you know, it's better than a game like Star Wars Battlefront 2, which actually had microtransactions that would affect the gameplay. Well, you'd be happy to know not in the slightest does gameplay get affected by the loot boxes in this game. And the thing is, with this game, yeah, you can wear different outfits, but if you actually use it, I don't see the point. Because if you adjust your cosmetics, you might end up making yourself look like more of a target. But at the same time, maybe be able to customize your character such that you would look like less of a target. So maybe that's better as well, because I have seen people wearing weird outfits as well. But either way, you will have to wear body armor on top of that, because body armor is a equipable accessory within the game. So I guess it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, you'd be happy to know that it's not a game where you have to grind and to unlock special equipment or anything. No. You can kind of think of PUBG like a video game version of The Purge. You know, The Purge is the movie where people were allowed to kill each other for 24 hours, and then there was one scene in the sequel of The Purge. A little spoilers for that movie, but what happened in that sequel was that they ended up having a millionaires put a whole bunch of these kids into like a closed environment for them to fight it out to the end. And I think that in the past there was a manga which had a similar idea as well, like putting people into like an environment and letting them kill each other to see who survives. And yeah, this game is like a video game version of that kind of stuff. So you have about 100 players. Sometimes, you know, people get disconnected, whatnot, and you drop from a plane onto an island. It's either a grassy kind of island or the desert, and it's like, looks kind of like a rural area. It has some cities, but you know, it's mostly rural. And the goal is that you need to survive to the end. And what you can do is there's different ways you can play this game. You can either just like immediately go into the city, look for the best equipment. You can go to the military base. You know, certain areas though will have more people dropping from the plane into that region. So you know you have to be really careful, or else you might get killed quickly, because all of the players might want to drop into the city to get the best equipment. Or on the other hand, you can try to find an isolated suburb, maybe a few houses that are by their lonesome, and find equipment there. And what happens in this game is that each round, each match of the game, it's fixed. It's to a maximum of about, I forget the exact number, it's like about 35 to 40 minutes. And the game does this by introducing a electric field on the island. So every few minutes, you need a certain part of the map gets enclosed. So you can kind of think of the island as like a giant square map, and a circle goes into the map, and anyone who's outside of that circle will get killed by an electric field. So it's kind of like, you know, this map, they keep enclosing little circles into the map, like just one circle at a time. And it gets surrounded by an electric field, so you have to go into that circle quickly, and every few minutes another circle will form in that circle, so the map keeps getting partitioned, and more people are going to have to get concentrated. And by doing this, they end up getting more players to kill each other easily. Otherwise, it would end up being like a camping kind of game with people just waiting hours and hours. So what happens is, yeah, and it's normalized as well. Every few minutes, this circle appears. Every few minutes, this circle appears, you know? And it's a little bit, it's not completely random, I don't think, but it is mostly random because I haven't seen anything weird. But I haven't seen any like glitches or anything. I think that maybe the circles are chosen from maybe a dozen different locations. I don't think it's completely random though. And yeah, it's just so interesting because can you think of that? So 100 people on an island, and you have to quickly get within a circle within a time frame. And you know, initially the circle starts off pretty large, then it keeps getting more and more narrow. And then eventually, if you wait long enough, the circle will eventually disappear, I believe. And in that case, you know, you better have a lot of health equipment. So the equipment you can get is guns, armor, vehicles, gas for the vehicles, and yeah, you can get accessories like scopes for your guns. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, and you can get the health equipment, you can get energy drinks to kind of boost energy, this kind of stuff. There's different kinds of gameplay modes. I've only played solo, but you can also play squad. You can play squad and get matched with random people, or you can go into it with friends, I believe. But I've just stuck to playing the solo game. And, you know, this game is it's pretty fun. Like, if you ignore, like, the microtransactions, because you can't get all of the items in the game. People have done videos investigating how long it takes to get all of the cosmetics, and it takes years. It would take years. It would take like thousands of matches. It's not worth it. You can't get anything. I don't play this for trophies or anything stupid. I just play it once in a while for fun, sometimes with friends, but mostly on my own. And with this, the interesting thing about the loot box is, yeah, it doesn't affect anything. You can actually make money, you know. I was surprised by this. So I was just playing games, and then I just opened a few loot boxes. I would just open one each week. What it does is, if you open too many loot boxes in a week, it ends up increasing the value of each loot box. So the second loot box is worth more than the first, so you'd have to spend more points. And each match, you get points depending on how many people you killed, what your rank is. Like, were you the first one? Were you the 10th one to get to the end? Or maybe you died early, so you get no points. This kind of stuff. And you use these points to get loot boxes. Now, I was actually able to get some loot boxes, and I got some rare loot boxes, and I actually stole them on Steam to get money in my Steam wallet to buy more games. It's so funny. So you can actually make money, like, playing this game, and it's stupid, but, you know, I thought, hey, like, this is some stupid loot box. I'm not, like, I'm just gonna, like, I was just scrolling through my Steam pages and that inventory. I'm like, oh, this stupid card system that Steam is using, I don't even know what this is. But then I saw, like, oh, sell it, and I saw money values, and I got this one loot box, and they would sell for, like, $5 US dollars. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's actually, if I get a few more of these, I can pay off for the game and then some. And this brings me to my next point. Unfortunately, I don't know about the Xbox version, but this game does have a big problem with PC versions. Hackers, and specifically it seems to be a problem with a lot of Chinese hackers. And, you know, it's sad because a lot of people have been complaining about this, and I've heard stories from both sides. And it sucks because some people are saying, oh, you're being racist, but it actually does seem to be a systematic problem. Like, and I've seen it too when I've been playing. Looking at the kill cam, I would see, like, random people, like, not even snipe me properly, but just randomly shoot me from all the way across the map, shoot me through walls. It's stupid, and a lot of these players, unfortunately, they do have Chinese characters in the names, like Chinese names, this kind of stuff. And yeah, like, it is disappointing because, unfortunately, hackers is a real problem to the game. And I don't know if it has to do with loot boxes and stuff. Maybe they're trying to make money from doing that. I never cheat. I don't cheat. I don't support cheating online, like, for online games. I only cheat, like, in single-player games, RPGs, not this kind of stuff. And it's really sad because you can have a nice match ruined by a hacker. But, like, sometimes, though, if you play games, sometimes you'll be lucky enough to not encounter hackers. You have to remember that some of these players are really skilled as well, and some of them are able to get really lucky, like, get really good equipment really quickly. And yeah, some people, I've definitely seen really skilled people, especially with a mouse and keyboard. You can shoot people really quickly. But at the same time, yeah, sometimes you'll get the occasional person who, like, shoots you through a wall, and all you can do is just use the report function when you get killed. You have a kill cam on the PC version of the game that you can view how you got killed. If it looks suspicious, report the player. Hopefully they'll do something about that and get some of those players banned. And yeah, that's really my only complaint. Like the loot boxes I can bear with. That's okay, I guess. But the hackers, yeah, the hacker can ruin a perfectly good match. That sucks. They should really do more action against that. I don't know. Like, I guess it's not really one of Valve's first party games. So I guess it doesn't have that VAC that I like when I play Counter-Strike, VAC appears. So it makes it such that you can't use any, it checks to make sure you're not interfering with the application. But I don't really notice that with PUBG. Like, I don't know, I guess maybe it just doesn't have that much security, unfortunately. And yeah, I wish that they would do more about that, because otherwise, it's a really fun game. I'll tell you, what I love about the game is that it's just so random. Sometimes you get a whole bunch of shitty equipment. Sometimes you'll stumble upon like really amazing equipment and beat everyone. And what I love is it's 100 players, and you end up getting such a moment of excitement when you are in the top 10. Like, the game gets so hectic, my heart starts beating so fast. It actually gets really exciting, like when you get to the end game, if you're able to survive for that long. And that's what I really love about the game, is just how random it can be sometimes. Like, it's crazy when I've gone into like top 10, top 5. Wow, like the circle gets so small. Every player is carefully trying to hide and trying to like see their options, what they can do. And yeah, it's just so amazing. Like, I mean, okay, like I know that some people were obviously overacting when they were like making YouTube videos or live streaming and stuff. Some people do overreact. But I will admit, it gets so hectic and so crazy when you actually do get one of these high positions. Oh man, my heart would beat so fast, especially if you can get to the top 3 of a match. Can you think of it? Like 100 players and only 3 are remaining, and you just sometimes you can just have so much fun. Sometimes you can find a really good hiding place and just watch everyone kill each other. And I know in some cases, yeah, I would just have a whole bunch of health equipment, and I would just carefully use these health equipment, and I would actually just wait until the electric field disappears. So basically the circle keeps getting smaller and smaller until it disappears and everything is electric. And I would just quickly like mash painkillers and health gear, all of that. And then the other player wouldn't even be able to find me at all. The other player has such good weapons and they can't find me because, yeah, you can either choose to be like a really big, you can snipe people, you can just use a regular AK or a regular like shooting gun, or you can even just stealth it, and yeah, if you're really lucky, you can win a match without even killing a single player. It's so cool. So yeah, like honestly, I recommend getting the game when it's cheap. I don't really agree with the other stuff that wrecks the game. Like, I don't like the cheating. I don't like how the developers are handling that. I wish more could be taken to combat that, and I wish that more can be done. I wish that yeah, the loot boxes could have been more fun. I don't even bother opening loot boxes because it's just so like needless in the game. But I mean, I understand their point of view because they want to make more money as well. So I can't really blame them for that. But yeah, like ignoring all of these external factors, the game itself is actually really fun. Like, even when you go solo and stuff, there's even an option if you see people camping together in the solo matches, because the game randomly puts you into a match, and sometimes like friends will try to like find each other in a match, and they'll end up grouping up even though it's a solo match. There's an option to report those players as well. So if you see 2 people like shooting you down at once without shooting each other, yeah, you can, and that doesn't happen often. Like, people will always shoot each other unless they're friends. So yeah, you can, and I noticed that, sadly, again, I don't want to sound racist, I'm not, but like a lot of the Chinese players in particular, yeah, they'll group up and look for people who don't have their kinds of names and just kill them. And yeah, you can report them for teaming up in a solo match. Like, you have to use the squad feature for that. You can't team up in a solo match. And yeah, if you ignore all of those other factors, the game is just fun. Like, it's just a random fun multiplayer game to play. The connection is kind of shitty sometimes, so it's hit or miss, sadly. Sometimes it lags really badly, so that's a negative. But it's fun because you can get into matches really quickly. Now, I don't know why. Sometimes the games will put me into a match where the game has kind of just started and put me into the corner of the map. I don't like that. But otherwise, the matches are really quick and easy to find, which is surprising because 100 players, but the game matches are pretty short, like half an hour to 40 minutes. So that's good too. And yeah, overall, the game itself is just so much fun, so random. You don't have to constantly grind. Each match is a new match. Some players who are new can even win their first match. Some people will lose 100 matches in a row, It's just so random. But trust me, play the game. It's a lot of fun, I'm telling you. If you enjoyed watching the content in this video, please consider giving it a like. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel so that you can be the first to receive all of my latest videos.